Welcome back, Embers, or if you're new here, welcome to the Campfire Crew. My name is Stone, my pronouns are they, them, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, we are doing a very beloved project, but with a twist. So, today we are doing Pan Those 32 eyeshadows, and yes, you do have to whisper 32. That's a rule, even though I decided that rule. I didn't decide that rule, it's just a ruling that I have to live by it now. If you're wondering what's on my face today, I have a big ass star on my face. This is supposed to be negative space. It's based off of this album here because I've been trying to do a couple of fun makeup looks inspired by different things, including albums, because I love pop music. Anyway, so if you're wondering what this is, that's what it is, because I don't know how well it shows over video. It tends to kind of make everything much less bright and poppy when I film in this location. Anyway, back to the project. So normal introduction things. Why am I panning 32 eyeshadows? Well, in November of 2025, I brought in a palette into my collection. This is the Harvest of Souls palette. I love this palette. I'm not gonna harp on it too much, but she's beautiful. It is a 16 pan palette, and I have been inspired by many different projects on YouTube, though I'm not really repeating any of them. Projects such as Laura Force had an eyeshadow beauty bank where she would basically have different goals that would equate to points and then exchange those points to bring in new eyeshadows into her collection. We also have Dora Fuchsia Souls project, by Project Pan, and the project that inspired that, which is, I believe Jessica Payne is her name, and her project 50 pan and project 100 pan. And Jessica's video, she had to complete 50, or in the respective 100 pan, 100 items to bring in a new item. And then in Dora's project, she had different categories of makeup, and she had to reach a goal number on each individual category to start buying things in that category again. So I've been inspired by all of these different creators who have somehow basically made it so they have to complete goals in order to bring in new makeup. And so that's basically what this is. And the goal for mine is panning 32 eyeshadows, which will continue when I buy a new palette. The reason it's 32 is because I'm basically, every time I want to bring a new palette in, I'm going to pan twice as many eyeshadows as I have just brought in. So with a 16 pan palette like this one is, it's 32. If I brought in a quad of 4 eyeshadows, I would have to pan 8 eyeshadows until my entire collection's panned, or I no longer can do that anymore. Then I will have to start finishing things. There's other rules that I have for myself, but they're not important for this project. This one is about the pans. So this project is not a year-long project that I will restart. This one is going until I reach 32 new pans of eyeshadow. I would also like to add that the rules besides panning 32 eyeshadows are almost non-existent. I'm going to be really playing this by ear because it's probably going to take a while, multiple years I'm thinking, to do this, because a lot of my eyeshadows are newer or already panned. I have a whole 40 pan palette that is completely panned already. My actual oldest palette has very, very deep pans, so those are going to be really difficult. And pretty much everything else is on the newer end within like 2 or 3 years. It doesn't have like tons of dips and things. A lot of the shadows are really, really big. So this is going to take some time, some dedication to do. So the rules are kind of in the air. I'm going to be rolling things. So let's start with rolling things in. I'm going to be rolling things in all sorts of different ways. For this update, I have hand selected 1 shade, and then I have randomized 3 shades, but I will also, alongside hand selecting and rolling things in, if you guys ever have an eyeshadow you see that you want me to pan, you can let me know. If you want me to pan a certain color or a certain, like, I want you to pan this specific shade because I have it and I know you have it and we should pan it together, you can let me know that. Or if you're just like, you should pan an orange because you love oranges, or specifically pan that red shimmer, it's really pretty. Like, whatever you want, or just some red, pick a red. I want to see you pan a red. Oh, that shade looks really hard to pan, you should pan that one. just let me know if you want to see me pan something. I'll probably do it because I don't get that many comments, and honestly, I'm down for most anything panning wise. However, the pans, this time the randomized selection is from this page right here, which is shades I want to pan. Right now on the list, there are 24 pans of eyeshadow on this list. So I'm not quite at the 32 that I need, but I have randomized all my shades from this list, and I will probably be randomizing all of my shades until I hit the end of them from that list, because I do want to concentrate on things I love the most. And as I'm playing with eyeshadows, if there's a shade that's not on here that I fall in love with, I will be adding it. Speaking of my newest palette, Harvest of Souls, I only have 2 eyeshadows from this palette because I haven't played with these shades all that much. So I'll probably be adding some more shades from here as I get to know these more, or if I fall in love more, like, for example, my Citrus Punch palette, I mostly just have the shimmers on there and a couple of mattes. But as I kind of use the shades more, I might fall in love with them and then add them to the list. But that's the list I'm going to be working off for my randomizations. But again, if you guys want to see a specific shade not from that list, you're welcome to let me know. But I'm going to be randomizing. I'm going to be pulling in shades in a lot of different ways. There's going to be focus shades or focus palettes, but because this is going to be such a long project, there's probably going to be a lot of fluctuation on how I decide to bring shades in, and a lot of change. And I'm just basically saying that I'm willing to adopt this project to kind of however I'm feeling at the time. Speaking of that, a lot of people have a number of uses they need before they roll something out. I'm not doing that again because I'm just kind of going based on vibes, how I feel. If I want to roll something out, I'm just going to roll it out, because I have about 120 something eyeshadows, I believe, in my collection, 41 of which are already panned. So I don't have like the most eyeshadows ever. So if I roll something out, I can always just roll it back in later. So I might use something for a couple months, get tired of it, roll it out, roll it back in when I feel like using it again. I might decide this shade I want to use at least 30 times before I roll it out. This shade I'm going to keep it until I hit pan, no matter how long that takes. It's going to kind of be a little chaotic. This project is going to be chaotic. Speaking of this intro, I guess this is an intro. This explanation is like 7 minutes already. So now I'm going to show you my randomizations. I did them before I filmed this video because I use my phone to randomize and also to film. So you will have to trust that I did not repeat these randomizations or not. I don't know. I don't care. But you're going to have to take my word for it, or just call me a liar in the comments. That's also fine with me. But here's what I picked. So first of all, I'm not going to say this in order because I can't remember which order it was. I'll just tell you the shades. So I'll do them in order. So one of the shades I rolled is shade number 2 in my list, which is Hallucinate by from my Def Leppard palette, which is by Rock and Roll Beauty. I don't know if this is a brand anymore. This is a hand-me-down palette. I have 4 shades from this palette that can be rolled in this year, and I got one of them. Probably my favorite one. Probably, yeah. I don't know if it is my absolute favorite, but it's definitely like one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's this shade here. It's really beautiful. I'm gonna actually swatch things this year. This is what it looks like on my hands. It's such a pretty shimmer. I have a video. Can you even see that? Okay, it's just a really pretty light yellow. It looks really beautiful. I think it's a little washed out on screen, but I'll take a picture of my wrist later. But it's a really beautiful light yellow. I use it on the inner corner all the time, or the inner third. It looks pretty much exactly like this on the eye, maybe a little lighter and a little, it's very, not sparkly, but glowy, I would say. It's not like a super sparkle shade, but it's like a very glow from within. It reflects a lot of light, as you can see there. I use it, like I said, on the inner corner or inner third all the time. I really like this, and I don't think these shades are too big. Let's see if it will tell me. Oh, wait. 1.14 grams. So not too big. Not the shallowest. Oh, also I have this empty pan, so I guess you can see. I don't really have much of a dip on this. I have a bit, but not too much, but they're not the deepest pans ever. So I think this I can hit pan on. Do I want to have a gold? I think I'll probably keep this in until I hit pan on it, just because it is a really nice shade for, I think it'll be pretty for winter, because I think blues and yellows are actually really wintry and beautiful together for the contrast, but I also think it'll be good in spring and summer. So I think no matter how long this takes, I'll be happy to use it. So I will, as far as I can tell right now, I think I'm going to keep this in just until I hit pan on it. The next shade I rolled in, oh yes, from my Citrus Punch palette is Tangerine, which is this orange shimmer here. It kind of reads more yellow, I would say, the undertone, with a pink shift to it than it does straight up orange. I feel like the shade Tropical reads more orange, but it's still either way very, very pretty. It has a pink shift, and it's this kind of yellowy orange with this beautiful pink shift. Again, it's a little more punchy in real life. This really washes it out. But I'll swatch it, and again, ooh, so pretty. Yeah, I think you can see what I mean by it's more of a yellow. Again, very washed out on camera, but it's more of this, like, it's like this very yellowy orange, if it is an orange, or orangey yellow, but it's that in-between color. I would call it a yellow. I think I've heard Alyssa, my god, I forgot names for a second, also refer to it as a yellowy shade, which made me feel vindicated. But you can see more of the shift here. It's, again, a little darker off camera, but this is what it looks like. I think it'll be really nice with this yellow, actually. So that'll be nice, but either way, there's lots of yellows in this palette that I can reach into. So that shade will go really well with not only the shade Tangerine, but also shades like Fizz. So that's good that I can use these two palettes together, at least that shade with this palette. So that'll be nice. Even though a lot of this is cool toned, this shade will go well. The pinks, the yellow, the warm brown, and these pinks in this shade will all go with this, which is nice. And then, last but not least, I have, oh, what shade did yes. I have opened all the palettes so I can remember what shade I rolled in. What shade was it? 13. I remembered the shade, and then I had to be like, okay, what's the shade called? Now what number is it? 13 is from my Sephora Wishing You palette, which is not a handy-down, but it's a palette I got as a Christmas gift one year for Secret Santa. My family did Secret Santa style Christmas gifts one year. And it's this shade here. It's really pretty for this time of year, and especially I think for February specifically. Is this really dark, actually really beautiful dark shimmer. Also, if you're noticing, there's some shades missing from some of these handy-down or palettes that I didn't buy. It's because I did a Project Level Up light version. You can find it on my channel. You can find all the projects I do on my channel. There's always playlists. I love to watch things through a playlist, so all of my things are playlisted by year. So if you want to find it, you can. But that's why some shades are missing. I took out all the shades I didn't want. But I love this. It's so dark. It's just a really beautiful dark shimmer. It's one of those kind of old school shimmers where it's not like super sparkly. Again, it's darker kind of in person, but it has a really beautiful glow to it. It's like a satin, like a really beautiful satin shimmer. And I like all types of shimmers. I like these really soft ones. I like the Citrus Punch, the very sparkly ones. I like all types of shimmers. I think they're all beautiful, but I think this color is so like it's like a plum shade, little bit kind of browny plum. It's very dark, again, darker in person than it is on camera, but it's really beautiful. It also looks kind of browny. Oh, I did say that, like a brownie plum with kind of a slightly pink tone. And I think actually I could use it with these yellows to do like, I did a look that was bright yellow with like wine reds, but I think I could use it with like a really dark red like that too and make like a fun, interesting look. So that's very cool. But it really goes well with my hand selected shade, which is from my oldest palette, my first ever palette, my Divina Singles palette. So originally the only shades that are from this are these ones over here. This is what it looks like. And at least for now, until I change my mind, I want to roll in one shade every month into this project and just keep it rolling. So every month I'll change what shade I'm using from this again until if I change my mind, I change my mind. But for now, at least I want to hand select a different shade from this palette, specifically these shades here, these eight shades here from the original palette. Hand select one of them to use for a month, see how much use I can get on them, and then roll them out. They're very deep pans, as you can probably see over here. And this month, I was originally going to use this shimmer I'll Be Tender, but January is almost over. I am very behind on filming, as I'm sure you've heard me say every video I'm going to be updating for my intros. So it's basically almost February, so I'm going to actually roll in this shade, which is, let me find out. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Nemesis from Divina. Since I already have it out, let me just. This is Nemesis. It actually has a dip forming on this side. I guess I'll flip it over. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is a dip. You can see like there's a little bit showing here, but there's quite a lot more showing. If I hold it just right, you might be able to see. My hands are so shaky. There's a dip right kind of there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there is a dip. I promise there is a dip showing right there. There's a little bit of hard pan in the middle. I think the dip goes about maybe halfway. This shade is so pretty. It's one of my favorites. I've depotted. This is 12 pan palette, and I purposefully depotted 3 of the shades because I just didn't feel like they performed very well. This is what it looks like. It's a little richer again on camera. It matches very well with that shade above it. It looks like it doesn't, I feel like this shade doesn't swatch that well, but it does pack on to the outer corner very, very well, which is what I always use it for. Oh my God, it's so much prettier in person. It's so much more purple in person, and it's still very like, in the spot that's not hard panned, it is still very buttery. But again, when I show the picture, you'll see it's really, really dark, plummy. It's a little more purpley than the shade above it, but those two are going to work so perfectly together. They're basically matching shades. So I'm very excited I randomly generated that shade because I knew I wanted to roll in this for February. I think it's going to be really pretty for February. These dark, like dark romantic vibes, I think I'm going to do a lot of. So I'm going to use that for the rest of January and for February. This is my color story. Again, I'll have a picture up here. And I will see you guys next month, sooner than this. I will see you guys next month to see how I did on this and to hopefully, well, to definitely roll in one new shade. I already know what I'm going to replace this with next month. I'm not going to tell you, but you might be able to guess if you know how much I like seasonal makeup. But I think the top 2 go well together, the bottom 2 go really, really well together. So I'm very excited to roll these shades in. And again, if you know my collection, if you have a color you want to see me pan, please let me know. And other than that, I will see you guys next time. Please stay tuned for the rest of the introductions. I know I'm very late, but I have a lot of fun stuff on the channel currently and also coming up on the channel that I'm really excited to share with you guys, and I will see you later. Bye!